Okay, so this is going to be an X-Cube review, as you probably already know. I just got this puzzle in. Today is Monday. I got this puzzle from Isavire at puzzleaddictions.com, and he sent them out Friday, so it took 3 days for me to get the puzzle, so that's a great thing. And his shipping has been fast usually. So I've already stickered it with the stickers that come with it. It's a small cube, 6 centimeters, like you probably already know. The red is a little ick. The vinyl is real thin, so on a black cube, the color gets real dark compared to something more like a Diane, which has brighter, a red, probably thicker vinyl to it. I've had this issue with Edison stickers before, so I don't know what the solution would be other than other stickers. But on a white cube, it probably isn't too bad. From what I remember on my Edison, do I have one around here? No, I don't have one. But yeah, I had an Edison's that had the same problem, and on the white cube it wasn't too bad, but on a black cube it's definitely a dark, noticeable red. But there's good contrast between all the colors, so there's no issues in that regard. So turning wise, I've done 12 cells on it. Alright, from when I got it. Right from when I put it together. I didn't do any of the shaving of the extra mold pieces because I didn't really feel like it. So there's some grinding going on when I turn it. There's little black plastic parts on my stack mat from that. But I lubed it with Jigaloo after I assembled it. I didn't do anything. I just assembled it and messed with some tensions. The springs are pretty finicky. Small adjustments do make a pretty big difference, so it's tough to find that sweet spot. I'm still not quite there. It has some problems with it. It tends to lock up a little bit, but that's probably just because it is new still, and there's some fine-tuning with the adjustments. But overall, it's actually pretty decent. I guess my fourth solve on it was a 41, which I guess for me is pretty average on my good cube, or actually pretty decent, whatever. So yeah, I'll do a solve in a second to show you kind of what the issues are, but I think after some breaking in and everything, it'll end up being a pretty nice cube. It's a little small for me because my hands are fairly decently sized. I don't have any issues with that. Here's the size comparison next to a Diane, so you can see there's definitely a difference in size there. But I don't have any issues with the cube size, but some other people obviously will. So if anything, it's just a little small for me, but that's just my deal. So yeah, let me do a quick solve, and that should be good for a little bit. Okay, so you can see here real quick. These are my actually first 12 times. I went ahead and saved them. It was like a 52 average, so it wasn't that great. But there's a couple of little bad solves in there. Oh, I already popped a piece. That sometimes happens when solving, or when scrambling, but I haven't really had an issue when solving yet, so we'll see what happens. And like I said, I still have to figure out some tension issues really to get it right. It's not quite where it should be, but so let's see how this goes. So it was kind of a junky solve, but I have some little lock-up issues. I think it may be a little bit too loose, but yeah, I gotta play with it. But overall, it seems like a decent cube, and the plastic's still grinding a little bit. So after I break it in and do other stuff, it probably will get better. That's usually the deal with cubes when you break them and they get better. So yeah, after overall it's a pretty decent cube. I don't know if it's really worth the $35 that it's being sold for right now, but it's a decent cube. It's better than the crappy Shenshu junk that I have somewhere. I don't even know why I still have it, but yeah, I have that somewhere. That's a piece of junk. It's my Diane is pretty decent. It pops a lot still. I actually got a new one because I broke my other one, so there's issues with that. And then my Maru, wherever that is having the internal alignment issue. This shouldn't have that at all, so you really don't need to worry about that. But it definitely, I don't know, it resembles my Maru a little bit, but a little bit smoother in some cases. So hopefully after breaking in and getting the tensions correct, it will be a little bit better, but for right now it's not really my favorite cube, but we'll see how that changes in the future.